Hello, everybody, and welcome to GQUAT Traditions. Hello, Maria. Maria, thank you, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for all of your moderation. How's everybody doing? I will wait for a few minutes for, I guess, the YouTube to switch over. As a matter of fact, I will try to check on my phone to see if I can pull it up. This new pain in the foot phone. Subscriptions. It hasn't said that I'm live yet. How are you doing, Maria? I got your message that I forgot what you were doing. Oh, you did some shopping today. Yeah. Were you buying meats or were you buying things to preserve? I wish I could pull this up. So, okay, people are starting to come in now. Hello, the jewelry spot. How are you doing? Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and welcome to GQUAT Traditions. I don't know what the weather is like everywhere. Hi, Sissy Joanne Stevens. How are you doing? Don't know how the weather is over there if the monsoons got there. Hola, mi hermana, Yankee Sister Homestead. She contacted me earlier today and said it was raining in her part of Connecticut. My part of Connecticut is not cooperating. Unbiased. Thanks, Rachel. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell you, Rachel, I did some research. I don't know whether old age got my memory, but the featherweight shop, it is spelled the regular way, SHOP. And anybody that has a Singer machine can go on there, and there are lessons, free lessons that show you how to do everything. And Rachel, I forgot what kind of machine. I think you had the Sears machine, which is a really good machine, and issues with the feed dog. Well, I was thinking that maybe you could go to the featherweight shop, look at the shop on how it's actually installed, but get the parts you need from, I guess, Googling and finding out. Hey, G Mama Grows. Did I say that already? Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Boy, the first thing that goes when you start getting old are your eyes, and then the next thing is your memory. Yes, Kenmore. I had a couple of friends that had Kenmores, and I think their machines did like 130 stitches. 130 stitches. At the time, I had never heard of that. Had never heard of that. And Yankee System said that she has a Spartan machine. I did some research on that, and I found out that Spartan is made by Singer. The Spartan machine that you have is very similar to Miss Bessie over here. And I don't know if you can see her. Yeah, you can see her. You know, when things are black, they're hard to see, but I have her tailgate up because I wanted to show you I finished my homework. I finished that little art quilt that I was working on, and I'm going to show it to you in a few minutes. So, for those of you who are new or in the bushes or watching the replay, I want to thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. And for those of you who don't know what GQUAT means, it stands for Garden, Quilt, and Art Traditions. And it represents 8 generations that I have been alive where we garden, we cook from scratch. Everything is cooked from scratch every day. And we do traditional arts like crochet, the homesteading arts, needlepoint, macrame, all that stuff, and DIY. You saw a DIY project that those of you who were here on Thursday, and that's to fix my sewing machine case. I have wood glue, but when I glue it, I want to be able to put some pressure on the joints so that the glue holds. It fits perfectly in there. As you see, it's very easy, but if it's easy in, easy out, I want to just put it there so it will hold. I don't use that case anymore because I'm afraid to. This machine, this little featherweight, by the way, weighs 11 pounds and 4 ounces. That's nothing compared to the strength that it has. It is the most powerful little machine, and the way it's actually engineered, it's so compact, it'll fit like in a lot of the small bags, handbags. I actually have a small bag that's strong enough, one of my handmade bags, but I sometimes put too much oil in it and the oil leaks out the bottom, and I didn't want to mess up my bag either. So, what is the weather where everybody is? I know a lot of you are primarily gardeners, and that's how we met because everyone is good friends become family, and family is everything. On the GQUAT family reunion buzz. Oh, and I think we said scratch cooking and storytelling. I always tell stories about the fascinating things in my life. One of the reasons is I'm writing a memoir, and it helps me to remember things. Some of the things you say help me to remember things I had forgotten about. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had the little apple that I was using for a template and for the postcards. And Yankee Sister said that's a wonderful story about the Spartan. Well, there's more. The Spartan is an addition of the same Singer machine, but the Spartan was invented during World War II. As a matter of fact, I'll show you something really interesting. Can you see the front of? Maybe I'll try to bring it forward up, knocking my shoulder out. See the front of this machine, the scroll lines? Well, ouch, ouch. That's just my rotator cuff. Until 1943, they had really ornate scrolls on there. Auntie Joanne has a machine that is a 1943 Singer featherweight, and it has the fancy scroll plate. Well, in 1943, they changed it. They only have the straight plates because all of the machinery was being tooled for the war and for making things. Maria Graham says it's cool today in South Carolina. Joanne Stevenson's doing well. Yankee says, yes, be careful. I wish some of that rain would come over here. She said it was raining, and I said, good. I'm glad I didn't water my garden. I had to run to the post office to mail some packages out. Oh, and by the way, 10, the Educated Natural, I sent out your second package, but I couldn't find your first package. I had a new helper this week, and she put it somewhere I couldn't find it. Well, after I left the post office, of course, I found it. So I will send that one out. But you have two packages coming. So yes, Yankee said the Spartan was made for soldiers to buy, people in the armed forces serving overseas, and was made for to be easily converted to the American electricity to the European electricity. As a matter of fact, this machine takes so little electricity, and as you know, I switched to the LED bulb, but I have the Go Power Plus, so solar charger, just a little one, and I do have a small solar charger that's only 13 watts. So to get the 100 watts of charge. I guess it would have to charge 100 divided by 13, about 8 or 9 hours to get it fully charged. But you could do that. Yankee Sister, another interesting thing about the Spartan, because I don't think she's on here, but Lorraine T contacted me and said she just bought a new car, a Spartan. I don't know if it has arrived yet, but the Spartan, you can take the wheel off and put a hand crank on it and just crank it and never ever use electricity. I have a lot of friends who have featherweights. There's a featherweight club on Facebook. You can also join that, Yankee Sister and Lorraine Thomas, and they have all kinds of information about this small machine. The Spartan is a little bit heavier than the featherweight, but not that much. And it just takes so little space. I am space challenged, and I do have other machines, like the white one I've had up here for a while. I have a full industrial machine that belonged to my grandmother. My grandmother bought it. I don't know why. She was up in age and her health wasn't that great, my maternal grandmother, but she said she wanted to do some upholstering. So got this machine, never used it, and she passed away. And the sewing machine company wouldn't take it back. So it just stayed at my mother's house completely covered for at least 40 years. And then just before I moved into this apartment, mommy said that I could have it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's up on the third floor of the house and in a back room. And you have to go down these curved, narrow staircase. It takes two men to carry that machine. It looks something like the ones you see, the Jukies, whatever. It's a big industrial machine. I will, when I get my other camera set up so that you can see what I'm doing, I will show you when I'm sewing on it. So I'm looking to see, Sissy Joanne Stevens. Hi, Uncle Roscoe. Have the monsoons gotten out to your neck of Arizona yet? I know they were in town because there's another channel I follow and they have it. Let me see if I can pull up the chat on this phone. I got a new cell phone this week and it's letting me do some things, get into some things. It treats me like I am a visitor on others. Oh, here I am. Yay, finally. And I see Yankee Sister in green. I see Joanne Stevens in green. No, what happened? Oh, yeah. There's blue because she's a moderator, but I see the star that says she's a also a member of the Friends and Family group, which if you want to join, it's $1.99 and it will have extra perks if you click on where you look to see if there are shorts or live. If you keep going down, and I think it says community, and then I think there's a tab that you click on if you want to become a member. And for the $1.99, you will be getting extra things, little packets of things for arts and crafts, seeds, whatever I have that I can spare. G Mama Grow says her internet is tripping. She leaves and comes back. Yeah, that's the story of these machines. So, who wants to see the art quilt? Think I'll name it because I always say we're a family. And I feel like in a family, it takes a village. It takes a village. And you are the village. I don't know whether I want to name it We the People or My People, My Village. But without further ado, let me show you what I did. I made some design changes. So I'll bring her closer so you can see the top. I put the little star up there. It's just the way that I'm holding this. It's not quilted to hold it down. And I'll put it in sections because my arms and shoulder get tired holding it up. I need an assistant, Mike. Need an assistant. And to help me thin out some of those flowers at mom's house. So that's the top of it. Remember all those little fabrics I sewed on the side? I put them up. Hey, Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. And actually, what I think I'll do is try to put it down flat because my shoulders are killing me. Okay. So don't mind this. This is the pink thing is my pressing board, but I'm not going to press anything. So I'll move it so that you can actually see our village. And remember, this started out as me showing you some of the fabrics in the basket. These three were given to me by my daughter, and they're each handmade pieces. As a matter of fact, if you look at these two leaves carefully, they were hand done. These are hand beaded with some type of real wool, and they're not exactly the same size. When things are made by hand, they're not going to be perfect, no matter how hard you try. Hey, Tangi Lewis, thank you for coming. Long time no see. I hope everything is well with Dad. Hugs, 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 and kisses. Hugs for everybody. So I put this side because it kind of reminded me of a doorway. I hand cut this star that is a handmade star because I didn't want it to look like it had just been copied off the internet and put down. I hand drew the star and then I put it there. And I made it that kind of silver fabric. Hello, Casings 55. Thank you for coming and hello. And I wanted it to look like, you know how they make the tin on the roofs? They beat the tin. Well, I wanted to pretend this was a piece of tin that they beat down and cut down over the doorway. So I'm going to put you down slowly so I don't throw you up. And then I had all these strips at the bottom, and I was going to put different strips, but then I felt that they competed with the top. The way all these were individual pieces that you saw me cut, you saw me sew them together, and on both sides. And I thought it was too confusing, and I also wanted to brighten it up a little bit. I'm just telling me my design ideas and how I came across it just from looking at fabric sitting in a basket. And then this one, even though this was a salvage edge, you see the initials, Africa BBB. I put it there to show that it was original African fabrics. These fabrics, these two are known as shwe shwe, and it's a special kind of woven fabric from South Africa that the government used to produce. Hello, I bring it every day. Hi, Kelly. And it's stamped. It's stamped on the back. It's not quilted down. Let me see. You can see it a little bit here. It's like the mark that they put on meat because back during apartheid and when the Dutch ruled the country of South Africa, you couldn't just go out and make fabric and sell it. There were some indigenous people who did it, or they did it in their tribes and villages. So this is what. Oh, let's decide what we're going to name it. Let's name it either "It Takes a Village" or what else did I say? Some suggestions for some names because I'm going to put the label on it, and I'm basically going to put like a black border on it. I actually wish I had made it a little bigger, But I was just trying to show something quickly, and we basically did it over a couple of hours. One week we spent an hour, and I laid the bottom out, and these two pieces of the top, and then Thursday we did these individual strips and juried them or interviewed them so we could see what order we were going to put it in. What name do you like? What name do you like? Do you like um, a name with the village in it, my village, or it takes a village, or just give me any ideas that you have? Okay. Has anybody else done any arts and crafts this week? I bring it. I know that you crochet one day a week live. What are you and the ladies working on at the center? Kelly, I bring it every day. Maria Graham said that she has been Yankee Sister Homestead said personal touch. What have you all been working on as far as any arts and crafts? I know Crafty Leo has been doing some things. I've been watching her doing sublimation. Sublimation is when you take the plastic and the Cricut and you put that vinyl on t shirts or cups or whatever you want. I actually have a machine, a small pressing unit. I have everything, but I bought it when I downsized and moved into my apartment stead. I just haven't gotten around to taking it out the box. Took it out the box and put it in the cases. And I have a few little things in these cabinets here. I already have stuff to sublimate. A little bit of plastic. This was going to be one of my covers for GQUAT, and this was to make bandanas that said GQUAT. I have a few little bags. I have a few little t-shirts, but I didn't get to it yet. I didn't get to it yet. Who wants to see me do some sublimation in addition to other things? Okay, so I will put this away. I wanted to make sure everybody got to see it. And this will be a wall quilt, not a quilt that goes on your lap and used as a piece of art, like a wall hanging. That's why I made it small, and so that people could have, especially if you have a small place. Oops. You know, when I say oops, something fell, right? If you have a small place, you can fit everything. Yankee Sister, which name did you like? It Takes a Village? Or We Are a Village, the GQuat Village? But put some suggestions in there. Okay. Lorraine T, I was just talking about you, saying that you were getting, if you didn't get it already, a new Spartan machine. Here I go glistening again. But you know what? I don't read my medicine. I take medication for cholesterol. My cholesterol is manageable, but part of it is because I take. Oh, it takes a village. I like that was my first thought, and I take something for blood pressure. I don't have blood pressure, but it runs in the family. So this is like a preemptive strike. But when I went to the drugstore, one of the good things about the IA in pharmacy is they sent me a little link that told me to watch a video about this particular medicine that I take. I don't know whether it's either for the cholesterol or blood pressure. And it said it will cause flushing. Is that what this is? Because I'm always flushing, always flushing. Latanya likes it likes a village. Indeedy. Next, oh, you're getting her next week? Well, Lorraine T, there is a Facebook group called Featherweight Fanatics. And if you have a Spartan or one of these small Singer featherweights, They have a club and they talk about all kinds of things. Uh-oh. Phew. Thank you. No, I'm not sick. Allergies. I have my AC on, and I live like above, adjacent to the laundry room. And when the exhaust goes out into the air, somehow I have one of those wall units. It comes in and makes me sneeze. Thank you, Yankee sister. I am blessed. A funny story about that. I was on an elevator one day and somebody sneezed. I made, well, I won't say I made a mistake. It was intentional. I said, God bless you. This guy looks at me and says, how do you know I believe in God? I said, you know what? You're right. I take it back. I take it back. Every word of it, I take it back. Everybody on the elevator started laughing. Gesundheit. Yes, I remember that. So, you guys, let's work on some postcards. Everybody was liking the postcards, and I need to make some and get them out. I owe Maria Graham one because Maria Graham sent me one, and I said that everybody who sent me one, I would send one. Oh, these are the ones that are finished. And for those of you who haven't seen the fabric postcards or don't know what they are, you can look back a couple of videos ago. This is just a piece of scrap that I had that was double sided, but it was cute because it had sunflowers on this side and like honeycombs on this side. And I figured, and I put the word read on it. I figured somebody could use it for a bookmark. When I buy when I buy real books, I don't turn the pages down. I don't bend them. I don't like my books beat up. So I use different things for bookmarks, but that was a giveaway. This is a template. This is one that I made as it's upside down. This is a pagoda or a temple or something in Asian fabric and purple and black. And it says postcard on the back. This is one that I made for a sample. It's upside down. Sample size. It's 4 inches by 6 inches. If you make one, you put made by and you put your name along the center. You write postcard on it, and you make 3 lines to send that out for the name, address, and then the city and state. This is an example of one. You don't have to have a sewing machine to make one. You can just hand sew around the edges. I just did this quickly during one of the lives, and that was just a string. But if I hadn't already connected it, I would have put a hand sewn button in there. I still might because it'll just be in the back tacked where it's sewn, just to make it look more original and like art. Thank you, Tanchi. She said these are nice and they are easy to make. This is okay. This is one that I started. It's going to be a birthday card for my one and only grandson. It has a lot of stitching on it to make it look more like art. A fabric postcard, a small quilt if you quilted. This is a piece of art, and it can be entered in different quilt contests, functional art, and you can see where I sewed it on the back. And since I have the dragons on, and he likes purple as well, and Chinese feng shui is red, so I put the dragons on there for him. I still have another month until his birthday. And this is a piece of old jeans that I'm going to upcycle into a postcard. Why? Just because it was fun. I actually painted on this one, and I have one of those silver hearts that I cut out. I'm going to put something on it about family, about family. Then, oh, I wanted to show you what you do for those of you who are new. You take this postcard and you put the name and address, city and state. You take it up to the counter at the post office and have them hand stamp it. Why? Because the stamp is actually made of ink, and it'll show the city and the state that it was mailed from. It's a way of keeping track. People years ago, when they didn't have internet and all this stuff, this was an inexpensive way and cheaper than sending a letter, because a letter, I don't know, what are the stamps? 75 cents now? A postcard is still cheap. And this is the same price as a regular postcard. And what you do is, these are actual postcard sleeves. They're 4 inches by 6 inches. And by the way, the same 4 inch by 6 inches fits into a standard frame. Since it is art, you can frame them and put them on the wall. You said you would frame that, Lorraine T. Thank you. Somebody said that they would change the the fabrics and frame them, but that's why I'm putting them in the postcards as a way of framing them. Latanya Lewis says she doesn't fold down her pages either. I don't know. I guess that's the way we were raised. But these are, I don't know, they were $6.80 for 100. Well, for to the beach, you're going to the beach. Okay, see you later. All right, have a great weekend. So I ordered these. The top is still sealed. The bag was open. I had a long story Thursday with drama where I only had 8. So I asked them to send me the 92 because I refuse to send these back and go through all that drama for $6.80. So I told them, yeah, postcards are still in existence, Yankee Sister. And now they really will be, because you will be making some and taking them. But for the same size bag, you can just use a regular Ziploc, Dollar Tree, dollar store bag, and put your, after after the postmaster puts a stamp on it. This is a beautiful postcard I received from Maria Graham, just totally lovely. But hers has a a, a, a postage stamp on it, but don't have them put the postage stamp on it. Put the put the rubber stamp on it, because eventually this postage stamp could come off, and then you don't have any way to know what city it was mailed from or anything, because you don't have it. But what I did is I hand wrote along the side the date and time that I received, and that it was sent from South Carolina. But isn't this lovely? So what you do is, once you get your postcard stamped and you have the postmaster give it back to you, you put it in a Ziploc bag. It'll fit in a regular sandwich size bag. You can buy them at Costco for cheap, whatever. And it's like this. So you have this part, doesn't matter. You fold it down, put a piece of Scotch tape or use the tape at the post office, put it down, and then just give it to them and they put it in the mail. That's it. That's it. Okay, so you guys, let's make a couple of postcards today. I have some fabric pre-ready. This is one I was going to send my mother, but it didn't get out last week. So I will sew around the edges of this, because she said that she's still in the nursing home. She said thanks for everybody's prayers and good wishes and blessings. So I'm going to cut the strings off. And I wanted to show that you don't have to have a fancy machine. You don't have to use zigzag. You don't have to do anything. You can sew it by hand. So I'm just going to straight sew around here. I'm going to cut the strings first. Why? Because I'm OCD-ish. And you can use pinking shears on the edges. It doesn't matter because it's already hand canceled and it's not going through any machines. So I'm just trimming this up a little. And since I've already put this one I knew was going to my mom. She's a gardener. She's always been a gardener. I posted a video this week of some of the flowers in her yard that have been there for a long time. Hello, Ty Lily. Thank you for coming and welcome. I showed everybody your thing you gave me for around my neck. And you guys, let me show you something else from Ty Lily. Do you see this cute little owl up there? Well, he's actually a pincushion, and that's the one I keep my glass pins in. I use a lot of pins. Ouch. These are plastic, but if you're not careful with the iron, these will melt and melt into your iron. So I have some that are genuine glass and I keep them separate and I keep them up there in Mr. Owl. I just love him. And I use it when I'm working on small pieces because it's hard to keep the iron away from them. So now I'm going to sew around the edges of this one. Then mommy can get some mail. She said that she wanted to get some mail. And I'm going to show you some more that I have pre-cut out. These are simple. These are just one-page ones. It says home and friend. And I had a lot of these fabrics that I thought were pretty. So many of you guys are gardeners. And I have peonies, or peonies, some people call them. The chicken, how are you? You guys, the chicken is one of my Connecticut family members, and he gets all kinds of rain up in his area, like Yankee Sister does. They don't send it down here. I'm down in 6B, he's up in 6A. Thank you for coming. Thank each and every one of you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. And welcome to the GQUAT Reunion Family Reunion Bus. So, this is a peony, and I have several of these pre-cut out. And what you can do when you start making postcards yourself, just have like the components ready. Like you do in your kitchen, you're prepping, you've got the flour ready, you've got sugar, you've got other things. I've got the front, I call the fabric side the front of the postcard. I call the part that you write on the back. This is simply a piece of unbleached muslin, and I put the Heat and Bond double-sided backing already on here, the fusion. So it's on there. I'm not going to take it off for now, but I will show you what I do to send this postcard out. I'm going to get it ready, and this one is for mom. Hello, mother. If you're watching, sometimes she can get somebody to put it on her iPhone. Just making sure you guys can see me. Oh, this is going to be a cute little one. This is a piece of an old block that I had. Some of us who quilt have leftover blocks. Hello, Barb Brownlee. Thank you for coming and welcome. So I had this leftover block, and it was block colors. I cut it down to fit the side, and I put a silver heart that you guys saw me hand cut from one of my templates here. So actually, what I will do is just show you, you don't have to have fancy stitches. And I will turn the light on, and I will just when you're sewing, for those of you who are new to sewing, make sure that your bobbin thread comes up, your top thread comes up, and you push it towards the back. So I'm just going to start down at the point of this little heart, and I'm just going to do a single line of stitching. It's called raw edge applique. I'm going to put one stitch back. On a manual machine like this, you push the lever up to get it to go back stitches. If you have a Lorraine T, I think is gone, but a Yankee system to get it to go backwards, it's pretty much the same as on a Spartan as well. So you can use an embroidery foot and it turns for you, but instead of changing a lot of feet, I just have a little 1/4 inch foot on here, because most quilting and things that I do are a 1/4 inch, and it's just to, it already has the heat and bond on it, it's already sewn, and you just get used to it. You know, it's like doing something in your garden. You have the small hand tools. You don't need big power tools to do everything. So I'm going to put a stitch in the back, stitch forward, and ta-da. Oh, I know what I want to tell you about sewing machines, and I want to demonstrate it. So just hold on one sec while I cut these threads. OCD-ish Auntie Ellen. And ta-da! This one is ready to go. Hello, Black Guns and Gardens. Thank you for coming and welcome. I've been looking at your harvest and other things. So this would be a card like I would send out to some of the guys in the group, some of the members or nephews or something like that, or moderators. Mike's a cat of gardening. Oh, pop goes the weasel. That was my thread spool I knocked over. No foul, no problem. I'm getting it. It's a really big one, and it's really heavy. I just pushed it too far forward. Crash, boom, bang. And I'm just going to put it back on the spool. This black is just an extra one. Okay, here she comes. Ouch. I was trying to keep it everything where you guys could see it. But now part of the thread. This is a handmade wrought iron thread holder. It's really heavy. I'm just going to keep an eye on the thread so it doesn't get tangled up. It sort of is. See, it's a big, heavy piece of, this is actually a piece of art. It's heavy, heavy soldered iron. But I like it because it holds a lot. Those of you who have manual machines with belts, when you use these thread holders, I buy these are like 1,500 yards, 1,200 yards of thread. This is actually quilting thread. Do I need quilting thread? No, just double dual purpose thread. East Coast families, please send some cool weather. She says 85 degrees and less would be good compared to 105 degrees. Oh my gosh. She said that it's 85 degrees. I mean, she wished just she could have 85. It's 105. It's like that Joanne Stevens said in Arizona. Ty Lily, Joanne's sister is Joanne Stevens is my sister that was raised with me. It's raining in South Carolina. You're getting that good rain. Ty Lily, G Mama Grow sending some 84-degree Chicago, Ohio weather. You guys, at night here in Connecticut, it's like down in the 60s at night. I went out the other morning and my machine came unthreaded. I see when I knocked it over. I'm going to rethread it. And it was like 60 something degrees. It was actually cool. I was wishing that I had put a jacket on when I went to the park. And the mosquitoes were out waiting for me, like, psst, over here, Nana, Auntie Ellen, over here. Okay. And the Singer Featherweight is the only machine I know. I'm not sure about the Spartan that you put the thread in from right to left. It has to go in right to left. Threaded it the first time, this old lady at 75. You felt the chill last night. Hello, LD. Thank you for coming. You're watching. Oh, my bean soup. I love making bean soup. I make a lot of beans in the winter. And I used to invite, when I was on my homestead in North Carolina, I used to they'd ask me to cook a pot of beans every week, my style of beans, and homemade cornbread. And I'd make a salad or sometimes peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler. I had a lot of blueberries down there. There were a lot of figs too. And I would make a cobbler, and we would sew all day, craft all day from like 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 at night. And then they still wanted to stay. Sometimes I would get in my car and go ride down the block or ride down the road because it was out in the country and pretend I had somewhere to go just to get them to go away. Yankee sister said, yes, cornbread. So um, I'm going to actually complete these cards. Where's the one that I was making for mommy? Mom, you're going to get your mail this week. I promise you, mother. So this says sunflowers. I wish I had done some extra stitching across here, but she'll love it anyway. She'll love it anyway. It just has a sunflower on it and a watering can. So I'm going to just edge stitch around the edges. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you about sewing. If you have a hand wheel with a belt on it, number one, make sure that your thread does not get caught up in the hand wheel. The other thing is when you move your hand wheel to put your needle in the up or down position, always only move it forward. Always turn it towards you. Never turn it back. Why? Because there's a special cycle that it goes through manually to get the thread up, and at the top position it's loose. When you turn it backwards, you confuse the machine, and you get tangles, you get knots, you get it all balled up in the beginning. Hello, Darthux. Hello, GT Junior. I'm showing how to make postcards, fabric postcards, and they're not for everybody, men, women, whatever. This would be one I would send out to one of the guys, unless I knew somebody particularly like this color, or if they said, Auntie Ellen, I like that one, I'm sending you one. And here's a challenge, you guys. Where is it? Hashtag fabric postcards 2023, so we can all see your postcards by hand, by foot, however you sew. You know, back in the days, there were a lot of people who were disabled and couldn't use their hands, and a lot of people use their feet like hands. An interesting story, I had to get a new iPhone this week, and I went to the Apple store, made sure I was the first one that morning. And it just happened that the young lady they brought to me to uh, assist me in getting my new iPhone was totally blind, 100% blind. She obviously had to have skills, because I know people who worked in IT at the school, at the community college, and they applied for a job at that same store and they didn't get it. So this young lady had to have some skills. And we were talking about, she asked me to do something, to look at something and scan the QR code. And I told her that I couldn't see it, that I'm visually impaired, that I'm totally blind in one eye. I can see with out of the other eye 20/20, but I need glasses for reading. She said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yes, I'm a member of the uh, National Federation for the Blind." She said, "I am too." And then I have like a goddaughter who used to meet me at the library with all these visual aids. I was one time totally legally blind, and I used to go use their library devices. And I met this young lady there, and they seemed to be about the same age. So I asked if she knows. She said, "Yes, I know her." I said, "Well, she calls me grandma." Hello, Tori's brain. Thank you for coming and welcome. You guys, I know that the hype, it's not hypathon, it's the hype again is going on. It started 12 noon today. It has people going the clock, around the clock. It says my Mac will soon go to sleep unless unplugged into an outlet. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like going to get the plug and doing that. So if my machine shuts down early, I apologize, but if it does, go over to, and Nikki, the Everyday Life of an OCD chick, is going live at 7 o'clock, and she will be, Bouger Prepper will be helping. So now this is a postcard that's going to mom, to my mother, Mrs. Panky. Mother, I'm sending you some mail. I'm going to send you a fabric postcard every week while you're there. And I'm not going to put the address on it, but I'm going to show you what you do. So I'm going to put, what's today? 8, 12, 2023. And I like this pen for this particular project. It's called a Point Liner by Pentel, and it writes really nice. Hey, 10, the educated natural. Guess what, Kim? I sent you a package today. It was package 2 because I had a helper this week and I couldn't find package 1 with the Christmas fabrics. But you've got a second package with some goodies in it. You'll get that one first. Then, of course, after I left the post office, I get home and I found the original package with your Christmas fabrics in. So I will be sending this out, and I'm showing how you actually do a postcard. And this one will be going to Mrs. Clara Pankey, so mommy can put it on her bulletin board. And it's going to this town in Connecticut. And I'll put, "Hi, Mom. Just wanted to say hello and tell you I love you." To say hello and tell you I love you. Ego amote. I ego amo te. You know, and then her and daddy always called me Pen Pen. The rest of the family called me Penny. So this is a regular postcard. What the only thing I'm going to do is go to the post office Monday when I mail Ten's package, have them hand stamp it. I'm going to put it in wherever that little plastic bag is and mail it. And when she gets it, all she has to do is put it on her bulletin board. Actually, just to show you how it's actually done, here is one of the official 4x6 sleeves. So I will roll it up and put it in here. If you're at the post office, this is what you do. You can put a piece of scotch tape along the side, and this is it. This is it. Mike, so nice. Hey, Mike, did you get your mail from me? Did you get some mail from me about a week ago? Everyone will want a postcard when they see your mom. I was going to send one to her roommate. She had a roommate there who was 98, um, and but she went home. And her daughter found mommy said, "Oh, my daughter has a YouTube." So her daughter wanted to know what it was, and she actually either subscribed or watched a few in the bushes or something. But this is it. This postcard is ready to go in the mail. So now here's this one that I just sewed around. And what you do is to get the line on it, the postcard, all postcards. This is a piece of unbleached muslin with some double faced heat and bond on the back that I put on here. And so one side is already fused to here and it makes it really stable. So I take my ruler and right down the middle of the card, right down the middle of the card, I draw, oops, I draw a line. Then I'm going to put, normally you put 3 lines for the name, for the street, for the city and state. And you can make these out of any amount. You can make them as fancy as you want, like a piece of art. So those are the 3 lines to address it. And to make sure they give you the right postage, you write on there like it's a regular postcard, postcard. Okay. And then over here, I'm going to put artist. I'm like a Erica Badu because I'm an artist. I'm an artist. Artist. Ellen Pankey. You put your name there. I have labels, but you don't have to have labels. This is what you do. You put your name. This is ready. So here's the postcard. You just saw me put the art on, the heart on. Your mail slow. Oh, you didn't get it, Mike? You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So I'm going to put, I was going to email you. Now they're making me upset. Oh, you know what? I get it. It might or might not be a postcard, and they might be handling it differently because they haven't been seeing fabric postcards. So I'm just putting a couple of clamps and I'm going to sew around it. It should only take a couple seconds. I'm so sorry, Mike. And you know the one that I sent you because I kind of showed it on the air, but it's no worries. If you don't get it for any reason, mail person best took it. Yeah. Well, that's life. That happens. There are thieves in the garden, in the post office, everywhere. But not to worry, Mike. Mike, I got you. I even put your name on it, on the postcard thing. It's one of the ones we made here live, and I put your name on it. So what I'm doing, you all, is just sewing around the edge of this card to hold it together. It does have heat and bond double-sided fusing. If I ran the iron back over it, it will steam it closed. But I'm just putting a row of stitching around it because that's just what I do. Just making sure when I knock this over, it's not caught up. And this machine, what I like about it, these old machines, the new ones don't pick up the first stitch or the last stitch. You have to put leaders, something they call leaders and enders. These machines were made to last 100 years, and they pick up the first stitch, the last stitch, every stitch in between, just like they were at a dance party. They get it all in. Male person best not took it. Well, if they took it, Mike, you can't stop a thief. The only thing you can do is slow one down. I don't care what you have or what kind of security. It happens. But if it does, I will take care of you. All right. So, you guys look. Oh no. I put it on upside down. That's okay. I'll pick it out and put it back. But anyway, you see how it works. Or I'll put another heart this way. But no, I should have paid attention. I pay attention. I'm sorry, Mike. Don't worry about it. You'll get another one. And I'm going to, this is the way this postcard looks. And this is a postcard. So Nikki is live, you guys. Please go over, say hello, tell her Auntie's coming. Auntie's coming. Kim, the educated natural. Good night. Good night, everybody. I love you. Ego amote, mommy. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video out. Have a good day, everybody. Love you. This machine is acting crazy. Actually, I pulled up the chat. Let me go out of it. Good night. Good night, everybody. Love you. And the broadcast.